Welcome in everybody, I hope you're doing well and ready for this mindful movement session. As always with these sessions, doing the best that you can with whatever movement or breathing or whatever it is you might be able to do. If you are struggling with a movement, I'm going to give you some adaptations as we go through, but if you need to make your own adaptations, sometimes you are the best person to make those choices for yourself, but I will give you the best version of it I can, and you can add in any little extra bits you need to if necessary. If you need to take any break or any rest at any point, if you want to take some hydration on board, that's absolutely fine. You don't have to do everything that we do exactly when we do it. Just do it to the best of your ability as always. With that out of the way, let's get on with today's session as we usually do here, with some nice deep breathing going in through the nose, out through the mouth, and continue that breathing. And some point over the next couple of breaths, let's close down our eyes, bring that focus inwards to our breathing. Nice gentle breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, just slowing it down. Nice easy breathing here. As we've closed our eyes now, the breathing zone, let's just focus on see how that breathing is affecting us. So as we breathe in, notice how the lungs lift up and out, chest comes forwards, and it all inflates. And then when you breathe out, notice how your shoulders relax down, you almost curl forwards just a tiny little bit. And just notice that cycle between the two, between breathing in and breathing out. Okay, now we're in a bit more of a relaxed state. Keep the eyes closed, keep the breathing going. But now let's thank ourselves for being here today, reminding ourselves as always that sometimes coming to the session is the hardest part. But now that we are here, first of all, we want to thank ourselves for that, for turning up today. But now we're here, we want to remain focused on the session in front of us. This next hour together, we try and do our best to stay focused on whichever movement or breathing that we're doing. I know as always, if our mind is wandering at any point, understand that is a perfectly normal thing to happen. But we just want to notice it when we do find our mind wandering, and then we can bring it back in line and focus on whatever we are on at that moment. And that's all about being mindful. It's not being about laser focused on every single part of the session for every single second. It's just noticing where your mind is and bringing it in focus when it needs to be there. If you're not already, keep the breathing going and sitting up nice and tall in your seat. Keeping the eyes closed still, and as you breathe in, I almost want you to feel like you're being pulled up towards the ceiling, almost like there's a string going through your head into your spine. It's pulling you up, and as you breathe out, you sort of relax down a little bit into it. And just cycle through that there. Breathe in, feel like you're being pulled up towards the ceiling, stretching that spine out. And as you breathe out, it just relaxes down again. Good work. Okay, so now let's start to open up the eyes. As you breathe in now, we're going to shrug the shoulders up. As you breathe out, you're going to relax them down. And just cycle through that. So breathe in, shrug up. Breathe out, relax down. Really squeeze those shoulders as you bring them up as you're breathing in. As you're breathing out, really relax it off. Good. We're going to continue that. Instead of going up and down though, we're going to go forwards and backwards. So push the shoulders forwards as you breathe out. As you breathe in, squeeze the shoulder blades back behind us and go back and forth between the two. Turn to the side so you can see it from there as well. So coming back, squeeze and then push forwards. Good. Let's continue with our shoulder work, just doing some rotations around in a circle, just nice and gentle, fluid movements here with the shoulder joint. Going around in a circle the best you can. Nice work, everybody. Just good, easy movements here. Let's change direction and go the opposite way now. Mobilizing those shoulders, getting them warmed up, getting them moving. And we will continue that into our next exercise. We bring the hands up to around about the shoulders here. And we're starting to get those elbows going around in a circle. Remember, the hands can glide around. They don't have to be locked in place. The main thing is that we're getting good range there with the elbows. And as always, you can do this double arm. You can do this single arm. You can do it alternating arms. I don't mind, as long as we're just getting it round to the best of your ability, whatever that may look like. And even if it's just small little circles down, that's absolutely fine. If that's what you can do, that's what you can do. Nice work. And let's change direction and go the opposite way. And again, you can do this double arm, single arm, alternating arms. Good work. Okay, let's just do some shoulder rotations again, just without the elbows involved. Change direction. Good work. Let's bring our hands up to around about our shoulder height. We're going to push one hand forwards and bring it back again. Other hand forwards and bring it back. Let's link the breathing in when you're ready to. Breathe out as you push out. Breathe in as you pull in. Again on the other side, breathe out. Breathe in. Keep that going there. I'm just going to have some drink for myself. Good, well let's start to extend that a little bit further now. So as we reach forwards, we lean into it so we can reach a little bit further and then swap over to the other side. If you need to, you can support yourself with the other hand. But we're just leaning into it a bit more, bring that head down in line a little bit. That's going to help just push that shoulder forwards. If you need to as well, demonstrate it like here, we can sort of, if you've got your desk in front of you, you can always lean onto the desk if you need to, or in my case today, a washing machine. Let's take this even a little bit further today. So as we reach forwards, try and come across the body a little bit as you do so as well. So come forwards and across, and you'll notice there's a bit more of a stretch in that sort of behind the back of the shoulder there in the lats. That's get a little bit extra stretch there as you do so. Just come forwards and then come across. And just get that little bit extra in there. Yeah, let's take it a little bit further now again. So you reach forwards and then to come back, come up and over and down behind us. If you can't get that full range of motion, that's fine. Just reach forwards the best you can. Then if you can't come all the way up, we can come across to the side instead, or wherever you can get to. So even if it's just a lower range of motion, that's fine, but try your best to reach forwards and then reach up and over on the way back. Good work. Nice. Well, let's bring it back into the center now again. We're going to go out to one side and back in, out to the other side and back in again. So just out to each side this time. Just nice fluid movements. When you're ready to, you can bring that breath back into it. Breathe out as you push out. Breathe in as you pull in. Going back and forth. Between the two, nice, controlled, gentle movements here. Good, just fluid movements. Link that breathing in. Moving the arms. Nice and controlled. Yeah, let's start to extend it a little bit more now. So as we reach out, we can use the other hand to support us, but we can lean into it a bit more. Bring the elbow sort of down towards the arm, and then bring it back in, and then over to the other side. Good work. Keep that going there with a good reach out, fluid movements, linking that breath in, breathe out as you push out. Breathe in as you pull in. Good. Let's extend it a little bit further now, so reach right the way out to the side. Then to come back, we come up and over the top and down like we're putting on a seatbelt. And then to the other side, up and over and then down. If you can't bring the arm all the way up and over, we can come obviously to the front a bit more. Just bring the arm across lower. You can do it with a slightly bent arm if you need to as well. Good work. We're going to introduce a new one of those this week. So in this one, we're going to reach up with one hand and then bringing it back down. Then we reach up with the other hand and bring it back down. Now I know for some of you, reaching the hand all the way up isn't the easiest thing to do, so you can do it just to the best of your ability, even with a slightly bent arm, reaching up the high as you can. That's fine, just reach up. You can always do it as well if you can fully extend your arm but not up ahead. We can come just sort of slightly forwards with it a little bit as well. That might help to extend that arm a little bit more. So you're still getting that full elbow movement but not above the head, sort of coming up and forwards a bit more. Keep the breathing going a bit, breathe out as you push the hand up. Good work. Okay, so with this one, to extend it, we're going to bring the arm up and then we're going to come across with it and then back down to the middle. So you're going to come up and then lean over to the side and then bring it back down. Good. And again, if you can't bring the arm all the way up, we just bring it to where we can and lean over. Still try and bring that arm sort of more across the body as you do so, so we get that stretch as you come over. Okay, so to extend it even further from here, as we reach over to the side, I want you to almost take your hand and draw a big circle almost backwards and around to the bottom there. I'm going to come to the side to show you from there, because I know for some of you that might be a difficult movement. So we come up and to the top and going over, and then to come back we almost go around the back, just like so. If you can't bring the arm around the back, that's fine. We bring it up and then bring it down, but try and open up that chest as much as you can. One easier way to do that is to bring the hand around and back, but if you can't bring it around like that, we can bring it straight down, but trying to keep the arm back as much as you can as you do that. I know for some of you, if you've got like bigger backrests, it might be a little bit trickier, so just do the best you can with your movement there. So reaching up and across, and then big circle back around to the bottom. Good work, everybody. Seems to have got that one well. Good work. And then just do some shoulder rotations to ease out of that. Good work. And we're just going to do a little bit of rotator cuff stretch and explain why we're only doing this in a second. So you can either keep the elbows tucked in to the side and draw those hands in and out, or have the elbows up high and bring them up and down. So just do which one works for you. But we're just going to stretch that rotator cuff. And the reason we're only stretching the rotator cuff is, keep that going if you're able to do that, is because the other stretches we actually did within those movements. That's why I've added that one in to there. We added in a little bit more of the lat and the chest as you come back through. As we reach forwards, that's the upper back. So it's combining some of the ones when we do our stretching, but in with that breathing exercise. So it's just two different ways to do the same thing with our stretches, but in a slightly different way. But the rotator cuffs don't get done during those too much, so we like to just put this little extra focus in here. That's something I'm thinking of concocting up some sort of way to get some rotator cuff movement in, stretching in a different way as well. Good work. Let's ease out of that there. Do some shoulder rotations again just to do so. And let's have our hydration break now. So grab yourself a drink and we'll move into the next part of the session very soon. Okie dokie, right. Moving into our spinal mobility now. So we'll get into a nice comfortable position. We can just use some breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth to start with, and just try and refocus ourselves after that small break. Good, and then when we're ready to, let's go through our flexion extension first of all in our neck. That's looking up and down. Just nice, gentle movements here. With this, as always, we don't want to force it. We don't want to cause ourselves any discomfort or pain. So just go through a comfortable range of motion. Looking up, looking down. And don't just go through the motions with this, just try and be mindful and present as you're moving this. So just notice how it feels as you're lifting your head up, as you're bringing that chin down. Just notice how it feels. Almost try and imagine what your vertebrae would look like within your neck as you're doing this. You can imagine those skeletons we saw in school. You can imagine sort of what the neck's doing there, which is allowing us to do this movement. And that's the difference between just doing some sort of movement and doing this mindful movement, is just being aware of what we're doing. Just being aware of how our body moves, how it feels as we do so, focusing in on it. It just helps us to have a better connection with our body. Helps us to be able to be aware of our movements, how things feel as we're going through it. That can give us many benefits. There's the physical benefits of doing so, which is the being aware of ourselves, the mobility that we get in it, but also with it, it helps to calm our mind, reduce the stress, reduce the anxiety, bringing that blood pressure down as well. Okay. Next time you find your head, yourself looking down, let's hold that position and just let gravity take over a little bit. And as always with this, we probably won't feel much of a stretch in this position, but that's okay. We're just going to hold it there. If you want to, however, you could sort of, once the chin's down, we can sort of rock our head sort of left and right a little bit. Almost pivoting on the chin, on the chest. And let's ease out of it. Let's go looking up and down again. And the next time you find yourself looking up, let's hold that position. And if we want to take this further, remembering the options here. First of all, we close our mouth. That helps to open up the front of the chest. So open up the front of the neck there a little bit more. If you want to take it a little bit further, you can place the hand roughly around the base of the neck, where the collarbones are, and gently sort of pull the skin downwards as you're looking up. If you're not quite feeling that, another way to do it is to first of all start looking forwards and put your hand in place and almost lock it there, and then go from looking up to there. You'll notice a really big stretch as you go, as you start looking up. And again there, if you want to take it a bit further, you can sort of rock the head side to side, just small movements. You'll probably notice that one side feels that tightness a bit more. You'll especially notice that if you're somebody who sleeps on their side, or somebody who is not necessarily dominant in one hand, because we mostly are. Most of us are dominant in just one hand. But if you use that hand a lot, so say if you're somebody who writes a lot or uses a computer mouse or something a lot, one side tends to be a little bit more tight than the other. Good. Let's ease out of that there. Just looking up and down to do so. And then let's go into our rotation, looking left and right. One side, then the other. Nice, easy movements. Good work. Rotating one side, rotating to the other. Stopping when we feel that resistance each time. And the next time you find yourself looking to the left, let's hold that position. As always, that might be enough of a stretch. If you want to take it further, however, you can take so we're looking to the left, we take our left hand onto sort of the base of the right of the neck, where the top of the collarbone is, and pull that diagonally sort of downwards towards our right armpit. And again, another way to make this, if you can't feel it, start off looking to the front, hold the collarbone in sort of place with the hand, so just rest your hand on top of the collarbone and then look to the side, and you'll feel even more of a deep stretch doing that. And again, if you want to take this a little bit further with this, we can just see some looking up and downs in this position. Not a huge range of motion, but just do a little sort of nod. And let's ease out a bit, doing a couple of lefts and rights. And the next time you find yourself looking to the right, let's hold that position. And again, this might be enough. If you want to take it further, you can bring that hand into it. This time, right hand on top of the left collarbone. And again, if you've not been feeling this, try first of all looking forwards, then just place the right hand on top of the left collarbone and then rotate, and you'll feel that stretch. And then again there, we can just use some nodding up and down. And ease out of it. Do a couple of lefts and rights again, and we go into our lateral flexion here with it. We'll bring one ear to one shoulder, one ear to the other shoulder, back and forth. Nice and gentle on this one. And the next time you find your left ear on your left shoulder, let's hold it there. We can, either this might be enough of a stretch, or you can bring the hand down to your side, or you can bring it behind you there. You choose which one works for yourself. As long as you feel a big sort of stretch between the right ear and the right shoulder. That's the main thing here. And again with this, we can sort of rock back and forth a little bit if you want to increase that stretch in some different areas within this position. If you feel one area in particular just needs it a bit more, you can hold it there a little bit longer. And let's ease out of that, left and rights again. And the next time you find your right ear on the right shoulder, let's hold that position, drop that left arm down or behind you. And again, you can rock that head back and forth. And let's ease out of it. And we can just do a few little shoulder rotations and some head wiggles or whatever you want to do just to ease out of it. Nicely there. Good. Let's go into the rest of our spine now. I'll come to the side shirt from there. Go through our flexion and extension to begin with here. So extend through. Curl forwards. Go back and forth between the two here. Nice and controlled, nice and gentle. Good extension through, good flexion forwards. If you need to do it using our back rest as well, we can do so. Good, well let's go into our rotation now. So using our arms to assist, we can pull around to one side, pull around to the other side. Make sure our legs stay pointed forwards as we're doing this, as we're rotating around. We don't want them coming around with us, otherwise we're just rotating in the seat rather than rotating our spine. Good. Right, let's go into our lateral flexion now. Bending down to one side, bending down to the other. And then let's come around as if we're in a whirlpool. Let's change direction. Let's ease out of that there. Good. We're going to go into a small amount of yoga movements here today, just due to time. But let's grab ourselves a drink before we move into it, and then we'll head straight into it. Good, okay, we're going to go into the one where we fold all the way down. We're going to come up with a flat back, back down, and then curling back up, and then going back to the side position. If you're comfortable with that, please continue. to do it at your own pace and your own time. I'm just going to go through it for those in case you need a refresher or you've not done it before. So to start with, we lean all the way down, reaching to the floor the best we can. Then we come up, we can push off of our lap or our frame of our chair or wherever we are. So we come up to about 45 degrees with a flat back there. Then we come back down again. And the second time we come up, we're going to curl up, almost stacking the vertebrae on top of each other, curling that spine up, looking forwards, and then heading back down to the starting position to start that again. So we come up with the flat back down, curling up, and then all the way back down to the start again. Good. I'll do that for a few more here. Good work. Let's add in the next bit now. So as we come up with the curl back, palms together, reaching up, out, and around the best we can. If you can't bring the arms all the way up and around, just do a smaller version of that, and then go back down to the starting position, and then coming up with a flat back down, curling up on the second time, palms together, reaching up, out, and around, and all the way down, and just cycle through that there. Up with a flat back down, curling up, palms together, reaching up, out, around, and going down. Good work, everybody. Just nice fluid movements to the best of your ability. Good work. Let's add in the next little stage as well. So as you reach up, out, and around, let's stop at parallel to the floor. We rotate around to the left, rotate around to the right, back to the middle, and back down again. I'm just going to move slightly so I've got more space to do so. So reaching down, up with a flat back down, curling up, palms together, reaching up, out, around to parallel, rotate to one side, rotate to the other side, back to the middle, and back down to the starting position to go through it again. Up with a flat back down, curling up, palms together, reaching up, out to parallel, rotate to the left, rotate to the right, back to the middle, and down again. Let's go two more here. Up with a flat back, and back down, curling up, palms together, reaching up, out, around, rotate to the left, rotate to the right, back to the middle, and all the way down. One more here. Up with the flat back down, curling up, palms together, reaching up, out, around to parallel, to the left, to the right, back to the middle, and relax those arms down there. Let's just give ourselves some shoulder rotations, maybe some wiggles, whatever you need to do. Just get out of that movement, and let's go into some nice deep breathing. As we move into the last little part of our session here, the mindfulness part, so just breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Over the next couple of breaths, close your eyes down, bring that focus inwards as we focus on our mindfulness before closing out today's session. Today we're going to be doing our body scan. We'll start from the top of our head to go to the tip of our toes, focusing on each and every part of our body that we can. We're not trying to fix anything in this moment, we're just trying to listen to our body, maybe understand why it's feeling the way it's feeling. But in each individual part, as always, the reason we do this is because sometimes we get hyper-focused on one part of our body. Maybe it's an injury, maybe it's something that's causing us pain, whatever it may be. We get focused on that. Or we get focused on our day-to-day lives, work, friends, family, etc. And we sort of don't listen to our body. So this is just a chance just to listen to our body, but in every specific area as we go through it, and just hear what it's got to say back to us as we put the focus into it. So let's bring the focus, first of all, sitting up nice and tall if you can. Keep the eyes closed, it does really help to bring that focus in, and we're just going to bring it to the top of our head, into the crown area there, and just putting the focus there, seeing if there's anything going on, and just putting the energy there, seeing what comes back. And then let's move on now to our forehead and our eyes. This is the area you'll probably start to feel it a little bit more, especially if you've not got a great sleeping pattern, or just last night maybe it wasn't too great, but you start to feel maybe some tiredness in your eyes. But you may feel nice and refreshed in your eyes, which is good. That means you're getting a good amount of sleep, whatever it may be. Or it could be eye strain from computer, phone screens, whatever it may be. But just being aware, noticing it, seeing how it feels, and then just making that mental note of it. Maybe it's some adjustments you need to make in your life to make it feel good. Or if it does feel good, noticing what you are doing and continuing that going forwards. Bring it down now into the cheeks and the jaw, and giving that some movement as well if you need to. You can give each of these parts a poke if you need to, or just move them independently. Just see how things feel here. Let's move down now into our neck. We start round at the back of our neck in the vertebrae, and we can give these some movement. We've done some movement and some stretches within the vertebrae today in the neck, so they're probably feeling quite loose, but also maybe a little bit tired at the same time, and that is perfectly normal and natural. But just noticing how it is, if it's any different than when we've done this in the past, and having that baseline measure. The more we do this, the more understanding of how our body feels normally. Yeah, let's go down now through into our shoulders, and again we can move these around. We did quite a lot of shoulder mobility today, so they should be feeling quite loose. They may be feeling a little bit tired from all of that, but that's okay. And just give it some movement and see how it feels in general. Down now through into our elbows. We can flex and extend just by bringing those arms up and down with the extension and flexion. See how things feel in the elbows. And move down now into our wrists. And again, seeing how they feel as you wiggle them around. Down into our fingers, our hands, give them a wiggle, see how it is. And then bring that focus all the way back up into our shoulders. And let's go down through our spine now. And again, we can wiggle it side to side, rotate it a little bit, see how things are. Put that focus and attention into the spine. And the reason we're focusing on this moment instead of doing it previously, because we've done all these spinal movements in this session, like why don't we focus on it during that? Well, this is where we're just focusing on it, whereas we were just focusing on moving it before. It's slightly different. It just means that we can get a bit more attention to detail in terms of how it feels in this moment. So just notice how the spine feels, especially after we've done all those movements today. And then let's go down into our hips. And this might be an area that you can't feel, which is fine. If you can't, then we just put the focus, put the attention down there and see what comes back to us. If you maybe you can wiggle still, even if you can't feel it, just side to side, see if that gives you any sort of feedback. Let's go down now through our legs into our knees. You can move them by yourself or use your hands as assistance just to give some movement. Go down through our lower legs into our ankles. If you can move them, great. If you can't move them, that's not a problem. Just put the focus and attention down there. Moving your feet. And you can, if you can, you can give your toes a wiggle. If you can't, no worries. I can't either. We're just putting the focus down there, putting the attention, seeing what comes back. Good work. We're going to do 3 deep breaths here together to finish. But as you do so, imagine a bright white light filling you from the tip of your toes, and it sort of comes up, filling you up all the way up to the top of your head. So it's a bright white light that slowly fills you up as you breathe in. As you breathe out, that dissipates, and we do it 2 more times for 3 breaths total. We do that together here. So first of all, just breathe out, and then do a nice big breath in. And release that. Let's go again. Big breath in, filling yourself up with white light. One more here. Nice big breath. Return your breathing to normal. Open up your eyes as we bring ourselves back to the room.